show of hands of how many of you came here just for this event? So like, everyone. All right, that is awesome. I know you checked with security at the door, but I am required to inform you that all ties, bow ties, and briefcases are prohibited at this event. So, and just to make sure, we do have to do a routine cog check. It's just standard procedure. So when I say, are you tuned enough, I want you to scream and cheer and be as obnoxious as possible. I've heard that this room can get a little bouncy because they did like a dance thing last year and had to move it downstairs. So let's try and shake the room with our voices. So tell me, are you tuned enough? Yeah! All right. Let's try this one more time because I do see a suit down here. So tell me one more time, are you tuned enough? Yeah! All right, that's awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring up our panelists here. First, we have Roxana. She is our artist, and you may better know her as Boo Boo. All right, next we have the director of dinner himself, Fat McStink. And now we have Sam. Sam is Shockley. He is our lead developer. Yeah, he does a lot of awesome stuff for us, and this wouldn't be possible without him. And now finally, we have one of our main support people, Jacob Eisman. He's also the voice of Clarabelle Cow, if you happen to have talked to her. We have his phone right here for him.
We want his hookup!
All right, so do you guys have anything to say before we get started?
I'd like to start by repeating the very first words I said to these guys. Wow, what a turnout. It's really, really exciting to see everyone out here who came here from all over the country just to see us.
Oh, thank you.
That is something I never expected. Thank you guys.
All right, and we have a special person here today. Is Lauren Little here today? Lauren Little?
She must not be here yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
It is.
It is her birthday.
We can still do the shout out.
She drove all the way from New York to come out here for her birthday. So if we see her come in, then we'll let you know and we can all clap for her.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and get TuneFest started here.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Jacob, you have to do the cow thing. You're seated by the phone. We're excited to start.
I'm not gonna let you not do this.
You can't hear the count unless you actually turn it on. So Joey, go pick up the phone. Yeah. That's all. All right, let's get started. That was.
All right, so I know pretty much all of you know about Toontown, but we do have a little presentation here where we're going to talk about what exactly it is and why we think it's a pretty awesome game. So Roxana, can you go ahead and flip the slide over there? Sorry. So Toontown, as everyone knows, was originally owned by Disney Online. They opened it up back in 2003, and it's been going on we just celebrated our 12th anniversary. Of course, we aren't Disney. Disney ended up closing the game in 2013, and we decided that we didn't want that to happen. So I gave Jeremy here a call on that day
I'm so sorry.
and said, Toontown is closing, what are we going to do? And it ended up deciding, like, well, let's go ahead and keep it going. And that's how Toontown Rewritten basically got started.
Yay, IRC.
And then, of course, Sam joined us about a week later. He basically engineered all of our server-sided stuff that keeps the game glued together. Jacob and Roxana joined us later on, as Roxana joined around the time of the Toon Council presidential election, and she helped us out with a lot of the art in that. And Jacob has been one of those resistance rangers that you see around in game, helping keep people safe, answering emails, and basically keeping everything running behind the scenes.
Joined exactly 1 year ago today.
Yeah.
Happy birthday!
Happy anniversary to you.
All right, so one of the biggest things about Toontown Rewritten, of course, is that it's completely free. We run it out of our own pockets because when we volunteered to create the game, we decided that it was our job to not only keep redeveloping it, but do anything it takes to keep it online. And that means paying out of pocket for servers, paying travel costs to get here and with you fans today. And yeah, merchandise, we had all the trading cards printed, and we wish we would get more. Maybe next time we'll have a little bit more for you, like some shirts. But yeah. And so let's move on here. Everyone knows about the cogs, of course. You can see the CEO there, who was just released not too long ago. I've seen some people around here who actually made their own gags. Are you guys in the audience anywhere? Can you stand up for me? There he is.
Show everyone, come up here.
Yeah, come up here.
I think
He's got a megaphone, a squirting flower, and he has the button.
Yeah, where's the button?
I don't want to film it.
Who has the button?
Should I film
That's
it?
one of the buttons.
It's his sister, right next. Come on, stand up. Show us the button.
Yeah,
You
fine.
don't have to if you don't
Oh
want
yeah,
to.
you're fine.
We're not forcing anybody.
It was broken, so it
We
had.
love the button though.
Yeah, so they need, yeah,
There's
that's,
the button.
yeah, it's been an awesome time seeing you all. In fact, when we first got here, we got in an elevator, and there was one of you, I don't know who it was, but they were standing kind of in the back of the elevator. They're just kind of shaking because they saw the Toontown shirt. And so that was just a really awesome experience, just having all of you here, and I know lots of you came from very far away to get here. So thank you all for coming out once again. And so we already talked about how Toontown's free, and we never plan on accepting any form of donations or microtransactions or any sort of monetary value in any way. Even if we were able to, if Disney told us, like, hey, you can make money off this if you want, we don't think that it's the kind of thing that we would want to do and take that away from you guys. We know that subscription can be kind of bad. I mean, it is what keeps Toontown going when Disney had it, but we just want to keep it going. We want to make sure that kids from now and from 10 years from now can keep playing this game and interact with people from around the world, because we feel that's really important in online interaction, and Toontown is a good way to get people started with that and to continue with that, since many parents here have been playing as well, and I'm sure some of you have came even without kids just to see this. So. And now we have something pretty special to show you. I think you'll like it. This is our first Toontown advertisement that we're going to be airing on YouTube. It's about 60 seconds long, but we put a lot of work into the video, and if you keep your eyes pretty close on it, you may see a few little surprises. All right, so let's get that started.
Ever wonder what it'd be like to live life as a toon? You could catch some fish, play some games, or run some errands. But here in Toontown, we do things a little bit differently.
That looks cool.
That'll be coming on YouTube right after this is over, if you want to rewatch it again and
Joey,
share it with your friends.
How late did you stay up making that?
I was up until 5:30 a.m. the day before I had to leave to come here, finishing up that video. I did not sleep that night. Thank you.
Joey.
now we're going to move on here to our next topic. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about. It is the Toon Council presidential election. Now, did anyone actually get to play the election back when it was run? All right, I see a few alpha testers down here, some back there. Yeah, well, we know you guys are here. And so, does everyone know at least a little bit about the story of it? Do you know who Flippy and Slappy are? I know you picked up some Slappy trading cards, and that guy named Alec Tin, and the director of ambush marketing. So the thing about the Toon Council presidential election, when we started it, no one knew what it was actually going to become, and that was, of course, Doomsday. It was when we first introduced the cogs into Toontown in our game, of course, and it was made like our first real push to show that we aren't just going to keep this game running, but we're going to add new content to it and keep people interested for as long as possible. And so we had Flippy, Slappy, and Alec. And, oh, okay, timeline. So it started back in October 2013, the planning for this, and that was basically when Toontown launched its alpha phase, when very little was done. But we knew back then that with the storyline, which some of you may have kind of figured out, it has something to do with that little watch up there. We wanted to do something to show, bring a story into how we're developing the game and keep people interested even though they couldn't play the game at that time since it was in that alpha phase. So it started back then where we had Flippy come out on October 31st, as he always does, but for the first time, and he announced that he was running for president of the Toon Council. And we knew back then that we were going to have, it was 4 characters at the time. There was Flippy, Floppy, election official, and cameraman. Those were our internal names for them, but you can probably guess that Floppy, being the opposite of Flippy, is who eventually became Slappy. And then we had, instead of the camera bots that were flying around the event, we ended up wanting to have a cameraman, which would be this Toon who kind of sits there like this and cranks the camera, much like how Emery is back there with our camera. And we figured that would be kind of cool, but it decided that the camera bots ended up being much cooler. And the election official, of course, became Alec Tin, which I thought of as I was just sitting in the shower one day. I'm like, electing, how can I make a pun out of electing? And Alec Tin, of course, came to be. And so, like we said, we had the character development. What was that about Sad Tunes? You want to?
Okay, so we didn't really necessarily have an ending for if all tunes went sad. So we were thinking, maybe we should have cogs swoop in and fly and snatch the tunes who went sad. But as you can tell, we didn't have enough time to do that. So when all tunes went sad, really nothing would happen. All the cogs would freeze and you would basically just have to log out in order to recover. So that was something interesting we thought we'd share.
Yeah, there were a lot of things in Doomsday that we want to talk about that got cut. Like Roxanne was just saying, there were originally 2 types of special cogs. There were the mover and shakers that stomp the ground and disrupt battles and everything. And then there were the legal eagles, which would fly above the area and end up swooping down and picking up sad tunes. Yeah, and so those were the 2 main enemies, but it ended up, due to limitations and things like that, we ended up not going with it. So then December 2013 is when we gave Slappy a face, and that was a big moment for us because it was the first Toon that we created, a storyline character. And since all of them before had been Dr. Shirley, Flippy, and all the others. So Slappy came about, basically, Floppy became Slappy to create a little bit of a balance between the candidates. We actually made Slappy the better candidate. Slightly better. We knew the storyline of the election, and we knew that people would want to vote for Flippy because he was the one who they'd been with for 10 years now with Disney. And so we needed to make a way for this story where the cogs would end up coming in and invading, and they actually end up making the president go sad. And we knew that if Flippy won, of course, then no one would like that because no one wants to see Flippy go sad. So the things that we did, we didn't want to make Flippy too much of an underdog either. And not literally, but. And so we gave Slappy the new items, like he had the hot air balloon, he had, which was, snowball fights. The hot air balloon was Sam's idea, and we made it in like one weekend, just rushed it to get together because we thought it was a pretty cool idea. And yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so we had the two balance between the candidates. We have Flippy stand on the left there, or right there, and Slappy stand on the left. And we just wanted to create a character that wouldn't overpower Flippy, but would still end up winning in the long run so we can engineer our events. And
So-
Roxanne is going to talk about some art here.
So with